Welcome to this fall edition of the show as autumn in Warsaw bursts with color, creativity and culture. This season means golden trees, cozy parks and postcard views on every corner. Recently named one of Time Out's world's best cities for 2025, Poland's capital is the perfect spot for a quick getaway. Alex Sumlinski reports.
It's that time of year again when in Warsaw the parks are bursting with color and the streets resemble paintings come to real life. Join me on a tour of Warsaw's fall foliage, and we begin here in the gardens atop of Warsaw University's library. From above the Warsaw University Library, the city looks wrapped in color. Greens, yellows, and soft browns stretch across the skyline. A reminder that even in the heart of Poland's capital, nature finds space to breathe.
Quite a surprise to find this type of foliage and green roof on the top of a building. It's very nice, very wonderful design, both to the building and to the gardens.
Opened in 2002 and situated in the Powiśle neighborhood of the capital, close to the Vistula River, the location is considered one of Europe's largest rooftop gardens, spanning over a hectare. The roof garden is divided into two parts. The different sections are linked by walkways, bridges, and pergolas, with a cascading water feature connecting the upper and lower levels. The library's roof itself serves as a peaceful sanctuary, blending architecture with the natural world.
It is stunning. The colors are amazing. We are under this dome. When you are outside, it is red and beautiful against the sky. The plants are very interesting. They have texture, they have color.
Further up north, on the banks of the Żerań Canal, Warsaw's newest green space is coming to life. Opened in October 2025, Żerań Park blends traces of the city's industrial past with peaceful nature. Rusted piers beside golden trees, quiet water, and wide paths for pedestrians and cyclists. In the fall, it feels like Warsaw's newest escape, a place to pause, breathe, and watch the season unfold.
Jesień ma swój urok.
Fall in Warsaw has its charm. For some, it's one of their favorite seasons. For me, it's okay if it's a fall like the one we have this year,
Jeśli to jest taka jesień, jak jest teraz.
not necessarily the snowy, frosty, and rainy kind.
As you stroll along the canal, you may encounter the graceful and ever-present mallard ducks. They have become a familiar sight across Warsaw's parks and riverbanks. In the urban winter surveys of 2023, mallards were by far the most numerous waterbird species in Polish cities. In Warsaw's Mokotów neighborhood, in the Morskie Oko Park, the scene slows down. Families stroll, dogs frolic about, and the calm lake mirrors the changing leaves. In its current shape, the Morskie Oko Park encompasses Duchess Izabela Lubomirska's former garden. Established in the 18th century, it was a typical sentimental establishment. The main walking paths run around the pond, which still carries a quiet elegance, especially in the golden light of October. The colors won't last for long, but for now, Warsaw's autumn is putting on a show worth stopping for. For TVP World's Pulse of Culture, I'm Alex Sumlinski.
Ever heard the old saying that polar bears roam the streets of Polish cities? It might not be as far-fetched as it sounds, especially in the fall, when encounters between people and wildlife take some surprising turns. See for yourself as Maciej Jastrzębski brings us this story.
Poland is famed for its dense forests and their animals. But judging by the ever-growing number of viral videos, the woods seem too small for their furry dwellers.
We would have there most of ungulates like wild boar, roe deer, red deer. We would have most of medium-sized carnivores. Of course, in urban parks like Łazienki Park.
Which is here. Quite a royal taste on their part, isn't it? Wild boars also turn out to free ride on suburban human inhabitants' meal plan deliveries. But it's not just wild boar, deer, and squirrels. Did you know Warsaw has a place called Moose Marsh? And that's for a good reason. Plus, be aware that when driving down one of northern Warsaw's access roads, a moose may put you in the deer in the headlights kind of situation. And yes, it happened more than once that a moose made it to downtown Warsaw. But how?
To jest piękny.
The Vistula River, this is a great ecological corridor, and we have a big green area in the northern part of Warsaw, which is the Campinas National Park. And this is a very nice refuge for moose, which means that if they enter the Vistula Valley, they may find themselves in the middle of the city.
A thought may come to your mind. If moose pop into Warsaw, what about wolves? Here's a simple trick to find out.
Well, there are wolves in near Warsaw, in Campinas National Park, residential wolves, and probably wolves during the dispersal phase of their life. They are coming to Warsaw sometimes, and people are seeing them, but this is rare.
Most of Poland's wolves can be found in its southern mountainous range of Świętokrzyska. A single wolf can travel a distance of 20 kilometers per day, turning up as far as
In the streets of Wrocław or in the streets of Prague. Prague, not in Warsaw, but Prague in Czech Republic.
One organization that looks after wolves in Poland is the Save Wildlife Conservation Fund. They deploy camera traps, track down wolves, catch them with non-harmful rubber traps, put GPS collars on them, and monitor their journeys and behavior for research purposes. Shortly put, the organization dances with wolves. Now, how difficult is it to catch a child in the night?
If you have a lot of luck, it's not very difficult. It can take just one day, for example, but it depends because you need to place the traps in the forest and you just need to wait.
The fund also carries out educational activities, which virtually come down to saying that
Wolves are very cool animals and we should be very happy that we have them in Poland because they are just amazing and they are not a threat to humans.
it may not be easy, but it's worth a try. And if you don't spot a wolf around Warsaw this autumn, there are plenty of other creatures that'll make your stay an unforgettable wildlife experience.
When you think about the fall, people mostly think about pumpkin spice lattes, but here in Poland, it's more about apples and plums.
Autumn is harvest season, and there's no better way to enjoy it than by heading to apple orchards. Poland is the world's #4 exporter of apples, so it's no wonder apple picking is becoming a new fall favorite activity.
Self-harvest is something relatively new in Poland, even if it was really popular in the other countries like USA or Western Europe or Canada.
While apples might steal the spotlight during harvest season, there's another fruit that reigns supreme as the true queen of autumn. It's the plum. With its deep, rich hues and sweet tart flavor, the plum is a staple in Poland's fall harvest, gracing everything from pies to jams. Their regal status extends beyond the kitchen. Who can forget the enchanting dance of the sugar plum fairy in Tchaikovsky's The Nutcracker, where the plum is elevated to mythical status, embodying sweetness and magic. And recently, this regal fruit took center stage in Paris when Polish culinary influencer Michał Korkosz served a plum-inspired dessert at a special dinner at the Polish embassy.
Hazelnut praline and plums roasted in honey and cinnamon. It's very autumn-like. I hope you're gonna enjoy.
Michał's twist on the classic baba o rum with spiced rum syrup, whipped cream, praline, and plums roasted in honey and cinnamon proved that Poland's Queen of Autumn can shine anywhere.
And now traditionally it's time for Culture Beats. The world's eyes are once again on Warsaw, where the 19th International Frédéric Chopin Piano Competition has just concluded, and the verdict is already sparking heated debate. From breathtaking performances to unexpected results, emotions are running high. Natalia Komarov reports.
And the first award and the gold medal goes to Eric Lu.
Late Monday night, a verdict was reached. Eric Lu became the second ever American to win the International Chopin Piano Competition in Warsaw.
I'm so grateful for this honor. I'm grateful for all the Chopin lovers around the world who watched online and all the audience here in Warsaw. I'm grateful for the jury to bestow me this honor.
Eric's story is one of perseverance. He took part in the Chopin competition once already, when he was only 17, and managed to reach 4th place. For many pianists, this would be a career highlight, but Eric decided to return to the stage of the Warsaw Philharmonic 10 years later.
I decided to take also this challenge for myself. It was an inner ambition, in a way, an inner challenge.
The verdict of the jury sparked some controversy. Many music critics noted that Lu's style is quite academic, conservative even. Others, however, praise both his technical prowess and emotional sensibility.
He is a player who is consistent throughout this competition. And the way the system is designed, the points given, then the mathematical averages that are accumulated over all of the four rounds really point to somebody who's consistent.
For young pianists, reaching the finals of the Chopin competition opens doors to the most prestigious stages around the globe. The silver medal went to Canada's Kevin Chen, for whom taking part in the Chopin competition was a lifelong dream.
Receiving such a high honor in the Chopin competition is actually something that I never would have thought was possible maybe a few years ago. I mean, this competition has such a high reputation and so prestigious that I've known about it since forever, right?
3rd place was awarded to Zitang Wang from China, who dedicated her emotional rendition of Sonata B-moll to her deceased grandfather.
I really came here with no expectation. I just really wanted to share more music and share more the program that I brought. I loved every stage of it.
Frédéric Chopin is enthusiastically celebrated in Poland. The composer confessed deep love for his homeland in nearly every melody. But one doesn't have to be Polish to perform the sonatas and the polonaises masterfully, as proven by the strong presence of Asians and North Americans in this year's edition of the competition.
In Chopin's music, we have plenty of elements that come very deeply from our culture. But this is not everything. He was a citizen of the world, I would say. So his music touches everyone.
The Chopin competition is known as the Olympics of classical music. Fans will have to wait 5 years for the next edition, which will mark 100 years of the competition's history. For TVP World, Natalia Komarov.
Meanwhile, at the National Museum in Warsaw, an exhibition entitled Black Carnival is underway. The exhibition brings together two remarkable artists of the late 19th and early 20th centuries, exploring themes of masquerade, theater, circus, dreams, eroticism and death. James Ensor and Witold Wojtkiewicz, both masters of fantasy, irony and grotesque, are rooted in their own artistic movements, Belgium's La Jeune Belgique and Poland's Young Poland. And now something special for our youngest theater lovers. Don't miss the extraordinary International Theater Festival, Korczak Today, taking place right here in Warsaw. This is already the 29th edition of the event, a celebration where theater becomes a space for creativity, dialogue beyond boundaries, and bold exploration of new artistic paths. And with this we conclude Pulse of Culture. Thank you for watching, and please stay tuned for more.